I've watched more than one budget miracle turn into a headache right around the time everybody stops paying attention. Under $400 is where people get tricked. Not because the gun is automatically bad, but because the first 50 rounds feel clean and easy, and folks start calling it reliable, like the job's finished. It's not. The real test shows up later, when your hands are tired, the ammo's cheap, you're rushing reloads, and the gun's not new anymore. Around round 200, the truth starts leaking out. So this list isn't best under $400. It's hidden gems, meaning guns people skip for the wrong reason, but they still keep their manners when the session gets sloppy. And stay to the end, because I'm giving you one dead simple tell I use at that round 200 mark to spot a budget pistol that's about to become a problem gun. I bought the TP9 Elite SC on a fine let's see day, not a hype day. It looked like a deal. Right up until I actually wore it. July heat, in and out of the truck, belt fighting me every time I sat down. It wasn't painful, it was just there. Like carrying a brick that kept reminding me I'd try to get cute and save money. A couple days later, I hit an outdoor bay outside town with a mixed bag of ammo and a short temper. No warm-up speech. I ran it the way people swear you shouldn't run a budget subcompact. Faster strings, rushed reloads, letting it get a little dry, letting myself get tired. That's where most cheap guns start acting like different guns. This one didn't. It tracked straight and came back to the same spot. The trigger felt the same at the end as it did at the start. I kept waiting for the crack in the confidence, and it just stayed boring. It earned trust, but it never got comfortable. If you can't pay the bulk tax, you'll hate it. But I'll tell you what actually sticks in my head. The first time a gun acts different, and you still carry it anyway. That's the moment you feel it in your gut, and you still shove it back in the holster. Last month in February, I was out at the range with a buddy who lives to talk trash. He sees the CZP-10C on my bench and smirks like I brought a rental gun. That the one you recommend when you don't want to recommend anything? I didn't even argue. That's the part that still bugs me. I'd been treating it like a placeholder too. We weren't testing. We were doing that dumb back and forth when somebody's watching. Quick strings, shot timer, dry air, and Texas grit blowing into everything. I ran his nicer gun first, trying to look sharp. I didn't. I pulled one, chased it, tightened up, then I grabbed the P10C like it was an obligation, and it cleaned up my mess. Same cadence, same return, no drama. It didn't start feeling different halfway through. It didn't get weird when I sped up. It just stayed flat and honest, while I stood there acting like I wasn't surprised. My buddy stopped joking and started watching. I still don't love it. That's what makes it worse. It did its job anyway, and it left a bruise right there in front of him. Next one is where people get loud online. Everybody's got an opinion, and one ugly rumor keeps floating around like it's fact. A buddy hit me up out of nowhere asking what he should buy under $400. Not what's cool, not what's trending. He just wanted something he could afford that wouldn't make him regret it later. And I knew the answer that was sitting there like a bad idea, the PSA Dagger Compact. I didn't want to say it, not because it's some mystery gun, but because of what comes with it. People talk like it's a meme, a clone, a gamble. And the ugly part is, the moment you recommend it, you're not recommending a pistol anymore. Like, you're putting your name on the roulette wheel. I started doing that thing I hate, talking myself into it. It's cheap enough to train more. Parts are everywhere. It'll do the job. And while I'm saying it, I can hear my own voice getting too confident. Like, I'm trying to win an argument that hasn't even happened yet. So I gave him one rule. If he buys it, he runs it hard, not gentle. And if the same weird issue shows up twice, he drops it. No excuses. Next one's the kind of gun you don't admit you're considering until you're standing at the counter doing the math. The week my truck needed brakes, I walked into a local shop pretending I was just looking. I wasn't there for a Taurus. I was there to handle something nicer, something I could feel good about owning. Then the guy behind the counter slid the numbers across like it was nothing, and my brain did that quiet math I hate. Brakes, ammo, range time, life. All of a sudden, the guns I wanted started looking like the kind of want that comes with excuses. And that's when the GX4 shows up in your peripheral like a bad thought. Nobody flexes this gun. Nobody posts it like a trophy. It's the gun people act above right up until they're standing under fluorescent lights, doing honest math. I picked it up, put it down, picked it up again, like I was arguing with it. Not about features, about what it said about me. The part that got under my skin was how hard it was to dismiss. It made too much sense for what I didn't want to admit. I needed something I'd actually carry, not something I'd baby. I still don't like trusting Taurus. That's the truth, but I hated the other truth more. I'd already decided what this gun was supposed to be, and it didn't stay in that box. Next one is the first time the math didn't feel like punishment. That's what scares me. I didn't tell anybody when I bought the Ruger RXM. No post, no brag, nothing. It was supposed to be my quiet backup plan. The kind of under 400 purchase you make when you're tired of doing mental gymnastics and you just want something that won't turn into a regret. Then something annoying happened. I kept reaching for it, not in a dramatic way. Little moments. Heading out the door, I'd grab it without thinking. At the bench, it would end up in my hand first, even when there were cooler guns sitting right there. I'd pick something else up, set it down, then my hand would drift back like it was correcting a mistake. It gets uncomfortable because you start asking why. Not specs, not internet opinions. Just why your hands keep choosing one gun over the ones you're supposed to like more. The RXM doesn't demand attention. It sits right, points right, and it doesn't make you fight it. It feels honest. Honesty is dangerous because it makes you see your own bias for what it is. I still don't trust anything just because it feels good, but I can't ignore what keeps happening. And the bonus gun? That one's the opposite kind of problem. Nobody recognizes it. Nobody respects it. And that's exactly how it gets underestimated. It doesn't win your heart first. It wins by making you quietly shut up. I didn't tell anybody I owned the SAR 9C. Not because it was illegal or special, because saying the name out loud always turned into a stupid conversation I didn't feel like having. It showed up in my life as a beater in early March. The kind of pistol you grab when you're doing normal stuff and you don't want to baby anything. Tossed in the range bag, riding along on errands, getting handled with dusty hands, zero ceremony. No one asked about it either. Most people didn't even notice it, which somehow felt worse than getting mocked. Then it kept doing the one thing an unknown gun isn't supposed to do. It stayed consistent. No little attitude change halfway through the day. No surprise behavior when you sped up. No sudden pickiness that made you start bargaining with yourself. And that quiet consistency is what messed with me, because it starts building trust before you give permission. I still don't recommend it casually. The support question sits in the back of your head, always, but the gun itself kept showing up like it wanted to be counted. One rule stayed firm. If the same weird issue shows up twice, I don't explain it away. I drop it. I carried it anyway, and I didn't like how easy that became. And you know how this ends when a good deal starts leaving little breadcrumbs? It's never the first hiccup that gets you. It's what happens after you already trusted it. You buy the holster, you stop paying attention, you load it the same way every time because it proved itself. And one day it doesn't. Not in a dramatic way either, just enough to make you pause. And that pause is expensive. Now you're standing there doing math in your head. Was it ammo, mag, you, or did you buy a story? If the same malfunction shows up twice in one session, that's the round 200 tell. The gun's already telling you who it is. That's why I kept this list tight. These picks stay boring longer than most, even when the session turns sloppy. But if your gun starts whispering the same problem, don't negotiate with it. I'm Steve. Next range day is where people find out what they really bought.